What is up, guys, and welcome back to my channel. Wow, it is the long-awaited fitness journey slash what I eat in a day, talking about my macros and talking about all that kind of stuff. So if you guys are new here, welcome to my channel. I'm Keaton. I do tons of different things on here: college, lifestyle, beauty, fashion, whatever, vlogs, you name it. So today's video is going to be a little bit different because I'm going to be sharing a little bit about my fitness journey, how I count my macros, and then also a what I eat in a day. I decided to combine these because I don't really want to make a whole video on like my fitness journey and stuff. I just wanted to film it and put it into this. So I will leave a timestamp here. If you guys are solely here for, oh, what does she eat in a day, and you guys don't care about how I track my macros, what I use, and all that kind of stuff, then you guys can skip to this time. If you guys want to watch the whole thing, which I would recommend, stick around. I'm here. Okay, let's talk. So before we get into this video, I just want to say, not necessarily a disclaimer, but just so you guys know like where I'm coming from. I have started counting my macros and changed my diet and all of that completely on my own. And what I mean by on my own is like I never went to a nutritionist or anything like that and had them tell me like, oh, you should be having this and whatever. I basically just decided to change my lifestyle on my own, and then I just like looked up a bunch of different articles. I watched so many YouTube videos, which I will leave a bunch of the YouTubers down below that have like way more information than me and like really cool what I eat in days and macros and all that kind of stuff down below. But I just want to let you guys know, because there are going to be things in this video that I talk about, things in this video that I eat or do or whatever that is probably not right. And the reason is because I am just a regular person changing my diet, and whether this is completely how I should be counting my macros or completely wrong, I have seen a really big difference in doing this, and so it works for me. And that is like the whole point of this video, is that this works for me. It might not work for everyone, because I know that counting your macros, counting your calories, or tracking your food can be triggering to a lot of people. It can just send people down the wrong path. And for me personally, this is what works for me. And so I don't want to say you guys should be doing this, you guys shouldn't be doing this. I am just sharing what I do. And so yeah, that's basically it. Let me give you guys a quick little background on what macros are. Macros are your macronutrients. So that is your carbs, proteins, and your fats. And that is how many carbs, proteins, and fats that you consume in a day. So I don't really follow a calorie count. Like I basically just follow, I mean I do, but I basically just follow how much protein I should be having, how much carbs I should be having, and how much fat I should be having, and that's it. So the way I track my macros, actually rewind, the way I found my macros. So the way that I found my macros was I started just Googling, how do I calculate my macros, whatever. And a lot of people use If It Fits Your Macros. It's a website, and you can go on there, you enter like how much you weigh, your height, your diet or your exercise, what you want to do, if you want to lose weight, maintain weight, whatever. And you enter it in there, and it gives you your macros. It gives you a number. So it'll tell you how much protein, how much carbs, and how much fat you should be having in order to reach whatever goal. For me specifically, I am not going to tell you guys my macros, because you should never share what your specific macros are. And the reason is I never understood this when I was like looking it up, and I was like looking at all these videos on YouTube, and I was like, oh, like she's not saying what hers are. Like I want to know what hers are. And the reason is because you can get into an unhealthy lifestyle by doing that. If you're watching someone's videos and you're like, oh, I want to look just like her, so like what are her macros? I'll follow those. It's not the safest and healthiest way to do it, because then you're following someone else's body type and their lifestyle when it's not yours, trying to like fit. So you need to do it your own way and find out what your macros are. You can go on If It Fits Your Macros, type it in, and do all of that. So that is what I did. And what you can choose to do is if you want to lose weight, lose body fat, maintain weight, or whatever. So basically I am not trying to lose weight. I don't really even know, I mean I know how much I weigh, but I don't even own a scale. I don't check my weight. I am just personally trying to gain muscle and like lose body fat. Like I just want to gain muscle, stay fit, and just I want to be eating the right things basically that fuel my body for working out. I work out 5 times a week, and so I want to make sure that every single day while I'm working out, I'm not eating the wrong foods for my body, because before I definitely was. So now to talk about a little bit of the way that I worked out before and what I was doing before and what I have changed now. So I would say about a year ago now, I was training for 2 years, and I always did a lot of cardio and a lot of like very high rep stuff. So that means like if I was doing squats, I would be doing like 50 squats, but the weight would be low. Like I was doing a lot of cardio, a lot of high rep like stuff. And now I do the opposite, which is I do strength training. So now what I do is very low rep stuff. Like I'll do 3 sets of 5, and it'll be really heavy weight of squats or hip thrust or whatever. And so the way that I work out has completely changed, because the way that I used to work out, I loved, and I did a lot of cardio and a lot of high rep things, but I never really ate the right foods for my body. So with cardio, like I would run a mile every day, and I would do all this like high energy stuff, and I would burn a lot of calories. But the foods that I were eating, like I would eat like 2 meals a day, and like one of them would be ramen and like goldfish. You guys can literally go back and watch my vlogs from like last year, but it would be like ramen and like random things. And then I would go get poke every now and then. I'd be like, oh, it's poke, it's good for you, whatever. But I was never fueling my body enough, but I didn't need to, because I had such a calorie deficit. So that means like I was burning so many calories, but I wasn't eating as many as I was burning. So I was still losing weight and all that kind of stuff because I wasn't eating as many calories. The difference now is that I'm still burning calories and I still have a calorie deficit, but I'm eating higher protein and higher carbs to help build muscle, as opposed to just like letting myself lose body weight. Does that make sense? Okay, whatever. Anyway, that is what I used to do. So I used to do that, and I did that for 2 years. Well, I stopped working out for, I would say, 6 months or so, but I never ever changed my diet, because I was like, why would I change my diet? Because like I ate this way while I was working out and it was fine, and I'm only eating like 2 meals a day. I'll have like a bar for breakfast, I'll have ramen for lunch, I'll have some like celery as a snack. So I was thinking like it's fine, and I ended up eating the same way that I had always been eating for around 6 months, and it made me so insecure because my body completely changed, because I wasn't doing cardio anymore. Obviously, like I wasn't working out in the ways that I should have been. I wasn't burning calories, so I was eating junk and I wasn't burning any calories. And so all of the like muscle I had while I was working out was completely just like filled up with all the fatty foods that I was eating. Like I would eat like a bunch of fast food, or I would just eat like a bunch of like crap. Like I would just eat like a pint of ice cream and like whatever. And those things are fine. It's not like that's bad. But for me personally, to go from working out a bunch and then eating bad and not working out, it really created like just the body type that I was not used to. And so I had so much cellulite, and that was my biggest insecurity. I had so much cellulite that formed on my stomach, and that was like the number one thing that I was very, very, very insecure about. And in every Instagram photo for like 9 months, 8 months, I was smoothing over my stomach, because I basically like had abs while I used to work out, and then the second I stopped working out and ate the same way, it was like my abs got just like full of stomach cellulite, and I was so insecure about it. And I remember going to Coachella and being like, oh my god, I remember Coachella, I was so sad, because I was like, oh my gosh. And I know it doesn't seem like a big deal to you, but in my eyes, that's how I felt. And the biggest thing for me was changing my diet, and that is why I count my macros. Now that I work out, I am like so happy, because the foods that I'm eating have helped build muscle in my abs and my arms and my legs and my butt. Like I feel like so much stronger and so much better, and a lot of that has to do with working out, but way more of it has to do about what I am eating. And so that is the lifestyle that I choose to live, and it's what works for me. Again, I don't know if it's gonna work for everybody, but I got so many questions about it and why I count my macros and all that kind of stuff. And I always have people commenting like, it's so sad, like you're so young and so small, and like you count your macros, like you don't need to live your life like that. And I think it's so it's not, I don't want to say it's offensive, but like it's so annoying that I can't just like live my life the way I want to. Like I can't just, if I want to eat healthy, then why can't I just eat healthy? I don't know why that is a problem for everyone. Everyone wants to like look at counting your macros and dieting and all this stuff like it's terrible for you and blah blah blah. And yes, it can create bad habits for some people, but for me personally, like I love it. I love counting my macros, and I don't really care if I get crapped on in this video. I know I'm gonna get a lot of comments because there are some things that I probably already explained wrong, but that's why you guys are here. You guys can nicely in the comments down below correct me or let other people know about their macros, but whatever, this is just the information I'm sharing. So I'm gonna share with you guys the two apps that I use, and I went to Louisa, my best friend. She's so cute. I went to her and I was like, hi, you used to count your macros, how did you do it? And so the most famous app that everyone uses is MyFitnessPal, and so I use MyFitnessPal, but I use an app called Macros. I will link both apps down below. So what I do is I go on MyFitnessPal, and I really only use MyFitnessPal when I am either like eating out at a restaurant or I'm cooking stuff and I want to scan the food. So it's way easier on MyFitnessPal. Macros is just an app that basically you enter manually. Like this is how much protein I've had, this is how much whatever I've had, and then it like shrinks down and it shows you throughout the day how many you have left. And that's why I like it, because it's more visual. But with MyFitnessPal, I use it specifically to track foods, whether I'm cooking, I'm out, or whatever it is. And so that is what I use, and that's what I would recommend. You can put your weight, your macros, all that kind of stuff in here, and it has breakfast, lunch, dinner, and snacks, and then you can put the type of exercise you had. You can also put how much water you've had in that day. It just helps keep track of different things. And so what I will do is so the only thing I have in here for this morning is my protein shake, which is what I'm drinking right now. And so what you do is with any of these things, you just scan the barcode. I will show you guys in the What I Eat in a Day about how I do it, but you'll scan the barcode and you add it in. So the only thing I have in here is a protein shake. For example, so this tells me that it has 20 grams of protein, 10 grams of carbs, and 7 grams of fat. When you open up the macros app, it'll say, what is today? Is it a training day or is it a rest day? Because your macros will change whether you are working out that day or whether you're not working out that day. Because it's a training day for me, I'm gonna click training day. And then it'll have protein, carbs, and fat. And so I will look over at the MyFitnessPal and it says 20, 10, and 7. And so I will enter each meal of the day, but what I like to do is enter it on my MyFitnessPal because it's easier. So I'll give you guys another example really quickly because I already know what I'm having in this What I Eat in a Day, so I'll show you guys how I enter it. So for lunch, I will click add lunch. And so it'll bring up a bunch of foods that I've already had, and I normally eat the same things like all the time. So I will go on here and I will add in what I know I'm gonna have today. So today I am having, in this What I Eat in a Day, I am having some tacos. So I'm gonna go in and I'm gonna click yellow corn tortilla tacos because I've already scanned them, but if you guys haven't, then you would go on the little QR code and then you would scan the food, and then you can change the serving size. So if I was only gonna have one tortilla, I could click one tortilla, or if I was just gonna have 3, whatever. I'm gonna have 3, so I'm clicking 3 tortillas. So that is 25 carbs and 2 protein, 1 fat. Okay, so I'll click the check and that's my lunch. But instead of entering each item manually, so if I were to do this and I were gonna say, okay, well I need to add the tortilla and I need to add the meat and then I need to add the cheese or whatever, instead of doing that on the macros app individually, what I do is I make it a whole meal. So now I go in and I'm gonna say, this is the beef, so this is how much beef I'm having today, so that's 10 grams, 9, whatever. Okay, so I'll click check, and then let's see, what else am I having with that? Okay, so let's just say that's the meal. What I do is I click the 3 dots on the bottom and it says lunch, and I do share via text. I'm not actually sharing it via text, but when I do that, it'll tell me at the top what the macros are. So now it says 12, 27, and 10. So instead of adding the tortillas and the meat individually, I will go and do share via text so I can look at them, and then it says 12, 27, 10. So now I will go and I'll click duplicate, and then I will click change the name. So let's say tacos 12, 27, and 10. And then when I go, it'll shrink down and it'll change my calorie intake. And so this is I just really like the macros app because it gives me a very visual way of looking at how much I have left, as opposed to the MyFitnessPal. So those are the two things that I do, and that is how I count my macros. So yeah. I am also going to show you guys how I weigh my food, because when you are counting your macros, it's really, really important to have a scale just so you can measure, because when things say certain serving size, like I'm having rice tonight and it says serving size 150, but if I'm like, oh, I don't want 150 grams, I just want half that, so I'll do 75 grams. So I need to measure out how much rice is 75 grams. So there's just a lot that goes into it, but you guys will see in this What I Eat in a Day, because I'm going to show you guys how I do it all and all that fun stuff. I don't really use a scale as much anymore because I've been counting my macros for around 3 months now, and so I'm pretty used to it. You will get the hang of it the more you do it. You'll be like, oh, like I used to not be able to look at a plate and be like, wow, that much meat would probably be like 20 grams of protein. Like I would never be able to tell when I first started, and it probably took me like 2 or so months to start being like, okay, wait, this makes sense. So now when I go out and I eat, I'm like, okay, I can have this, this is about this much. Because the more you weigh it, the more you get used to, okay, wait, this much weighs this much weighs. So it's just a lot easier. So that is what I'm going to be showing you guys today. Thank you guys for listening to my long little spiel in the beginning of this video. And yeah, we are going to get into the What I Eat in a Day now. All right, so for breakfast, what I'm going to be making is just like a normal breakfast I would make every day, and that is egg whites and sweet potatoes. Sometimes I don't have turkey bacon right now, and normally I will have plant-based sausage or something. I'll have another form of protein, so I'll do like carbs, sweet potatoes, protein for egg whites, and then I'll add like another bacon, like plant-based bacon in there. I don't have the bacon or sausage, and because I am currently drinking my protein shake, I'm just like, I just want egg whites and sweet potatoes. But I also sometimes cook it with kale. I'll add like a little bit of veggies in there. It just depends on how much you like. But I would also say that I normally will have these sweet potatoes cooked. I will have a sweet potato cooked and I'll just have it in the fridge. So in the morning, all I do is make the egg whites and the sweet potatoes, and I just throw it on a plate and I'm good. But for the sake of this video, to show you guys how I make my sweet potatoes, I am going to show you guys how I cook them and stuff. And so it does take like 30 minutes or so, which normally you wouldn't do in the morning. But this is one of those things you can food prep, and you can actually just buy like a bunch of sweet potatoes, cook them all at once, save them, and eat them throughout the week. So I'm going to wash this and scrub it a little bit, and then we're gonna get to cutting. I also am setting the oven to 350 degrees. So I'm gonna have that preheating while I cut this up. Okay, so as you guys can see, I cut up the sweet potato, and it's all in this little glass container, oh my gosh. And I'm gonna be taking some olive oil, but I'm only gonna do a cap full. So what I like to do is just fill the cap up with olive oil, and then I just kinda pour it over, because I don't like to do a ton. So this is something I don't measure into it, even though olive oil does have fat into it. I normally do not measure seasonings or anything like that into my macros. That's how I do it. Don't know how everyone else does it, but I love my sweet potatoes sweet, so I go in and I put a bunch of cinnamon on top. So I just go in and I'm gonna make sure the olive oil is all in there. The cinnamon is spread out. And we're gonna pop this into the oven for 30 minutes. So now I'm gonna show you guys how I weigh the stuff so that I can get my macros. So this is the scale that I use. I ordered it on Amazon. Sorry, my dishwasher is like extremely loud. Okay. This is the scale that I use, and I ordered it on Amazon, and it came with all of these things. So this is a NutriTrack Mini. It came with a like food code and like ones you use. It came with all this information. I'm just showing you guys so you guys know what it comes with. I'll link it down below. But this is what I use. It also has different foods on here, and it has a number next to it. So basically when you're measuring, you can enter in that number on here, and it will pull up the information like for you. But I'm gonna show you guys what I do for just like everyday food. Okay, so these are the egg whites that I use. This is what I eat every day. And so what I'll do is I'll turn it to the side and I will look at the nutrition facts. So it says serving size is 3 tablespoons, which is 46 grams. All right, so I've got this measuring cup here. This is a cup. This is from Anthropology, by the way, but it is 1 cup. And so what I'll do is I will set the cup on before I turn this on. So I'm gonna press power. I know my nails are really grown out. I'm getting them done today. Like, stop looking at them. Okay, so now what it says is it says pounds or ounces. And so what I'll do is I'll change the scale units. That's milliliters, and then this is fluid ounce, and this is grams. So now I can measure 46 grams because that is the serving size. I'll pour this in, and it will grow. Okay, so basically that is 70. This is a really small amount. I don't do 46 grams. I do I think I do 150. I need to double check. So basically you guys can see that when you pour it in, it will measure out the grams for you. So what I like to do is, because it's a really small amount, 1 serving size is a really small amount for egg whites. Like I wouldn't just eat 3 tablespoons of egg whites for breakfast. So what I like to do, I'll take my calculator and I will do 46 times 3, and that is 138. So that is 3 servings of the egg whites. So what I'll do, it's hard to do this while I'm watching, but I'll pour really slow until I get to 138. 138. So this is now how many egg whites I'm gonna be making. But again, you just measure it out to however many you want. Now to track this, we have the little barcode here, and I'm going to go into my my Fitness Pal. I'm gonna click breakfast, and I'm gonna click the little, oh, come on, the little code over here, and I'm going to scan the egg whites. So now, as you guys can see, it says egg whites, it says 5 grams of protein for 46 grams, but I did 3 servings of it. So I'm gonna change my serving size, click check, and so now it changed it. And so now it's 15 grams of protein. All right, for these sweet potatoes, now I've got a bowl on here because I need a bigger bowl to measure the sweet potatoes in. In this little booklet, this is a food code book, it has sweet potatoes listed here. It has a bunch of different foods listed in here. Let me get the code for sweet potatoes. So on here where it says vegetables, it says sweet potato baked with skin, which is exactly what we just made, and it's number 305. So what I like to do is I set the bowl on top of the scale before I measure, because if you, okay, I'll show you guys what it does. If you set it on after, obviously it will start to weigh the bowl, which you can do, and then you can just set it to 0, and then now that's gone, so now you're starting from 0. So it's the same thing. I just like to put it on there before I measure. So basically what we're gonna do is, because the sweet potato code is 305, we're gonna click 305, and now watch as I put a few sweet potatoes in there. It measures them and it gives me exactly what the macronutrients are. So it'll say protein, it says 0.35, fat 0, and then it says carbs 4. So this will help me know like how many carbs I'm wanting with my breakfast. I probably won't eat a lot of sweet potatoes with breakfast just because like the eggs will probably fill me up a bit, but let's see. All right, so this is my breakfast, and yeah, I'm just gonna eat this. I just got some water. I already had some coffee this morning, and I had my protein shake, so I feel like I would eat more, but this is pretty good. This will fill me up. I know to some people it might seem like a lot of work just to eat food, but for me it really helps me know that I'm getting the right nutrients and the right foods for my body. And I know that you guys were asking, so that is why I'm sharing. And my breakfast meals are normally the most boring, so don't click out just yet, just because this one is super simple and boring, because they will change. Today I'm so excited to show you guys the tacos I'm making today, because I eat these tacos all the time and they are plant-based tacos and they're so good. I love them. And yeah, I'm just excited to share with you guys my meals, what I eat, because it is so yummy and it's been so fun changing up my diet, trying out different foods, trying out different meals. It's just a lot of fun. So all right, my beauties, I am done with breakfast as you guys saw, and now it's time for lunch. So it is currently 12:30, I believe, 12:30. So it's been like 2.5 hours, but I'm just getting a little hungry now, so I'm going to make my tacos, and these are my favorite tacos ever. So I'm going to show you guys what I do. I'm going to show you guys all the ingredients. The thing about this recipe is that a lot of the things that I'm going to be showing you that I'm using and making, I don't have in its original packaging, but everything is going to be linked down in the description, each meal with what the name of each product is. But because so I'll just show you so you guys understand. So for example, this is the meat. This is Beyond Beef. So this is plant-based beef in here that I'm gonna make for the tacos. And here I opened a can of beans, and I still wanted to use them, so sorry, I got a call. Okay, anyway, I was talking about the beans. Basically, I opened a can of beans, but obviously for like the purpose of this video showing you guys how I count my macros, basically all you guys have to do is exactly what I showed you guys earlier. You would scan the can of beans. These are just garbanzo beans, but you would scan the can on MyFitnessPal, look at the nutrition, and then measure out how much you want. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna cook them, and then I'll measure them once I put them into the bowl. With things like this, so this is the salsa I'm gonna use, which I love. All of this I got at Whole Foods, I'm pretty sure, but this salsa is so good. And so with salsa, I don't really measure like the macros of this. There are certain things that I'm just not gonna be strict on. Like it's not that serious. I don't think this salsa is gonna kill me, especially when I look at the nutrition facts of it. It's like 2 carbs, 0 fat, 0 protein. It's not gonna kill me if I don't measure this. So things like that I don't worry about. And the same with these. This is the Follow Your Heart dairy-free mozzarella shreds. I love these, and it's taken me a long time to find a good dairy-free one, and this has no soy, and it's also vegan, but the nutrition is the same. So there's 6 carbs, 0 protein, and 6 fat. So I am a little bit lighter handed on this, but I also do not measure this necessarily for my macros. So that is that. But other than that, I've got the meat here. I've got the tortillas. I will use 3 of these. I love corn tortillas, and they're way less carbs, so that's why I do corn tortillas. And then I also have this taco seasoning. The one I'm going to be using is this one, because this is from another packet, but this is what you buy at the store. Like, you can just buy any taco seasoning mix, and I will mix this in with the meat so it gives it some flavor. Oh, I forgot the sour cream, but yeah, sour cream as well. So let's make our tacos. All right, so I've heated up this pan right here, and I'm gonna be taking this avocado oil spray, and I just spray a quick layer onto the pan. And this is the Beyond Beef, like I said. And the serving size for this is 4 ounces. So I've already scanned this on MyFitnessPal, which is why I just already know how much I'm gonna use, but this is what I have left over. So I'm just gonna cook what I have left over. I just go in here, chop it all up. I'm not gonna lie, the Beyond Meat and the Beyond Beef does not smell the best when you first start cooking it. I know that doesn't sound good, but I promise you, like, these are so good. If I were to make these tacos for anyone, they would not know that they're not beef. Like, they taste so good. For dinner, I'm making chicken, and I do still eat meat. Like, I eat, for the majority of the part, I eat more fish. So I eat like shrimp, I eat salmon super often. But I do every once in a while still eat regular meat, but I try my hardest to buy plant-based meat, and I also try my hardest to keep dairy out as much as I can. Also, I am taking the taco seasoning, so this is just in the container because I had already opened a pack and not used it all, so I put it in here. But you would just open up a pack like this. I just sprinkle all along the meat. Oh my gosh, it smells so good. And then we're just gonna mix it all up. Anyway, I do try my hardest to buy plant-based things, and I also try my hardest not to eat as much dairy as I can. I still have some dairy in my diet, as you guys will see. But if I'm buying cheese or anything like that, if I buy cheese, I always buy dairy-free cheese, just because I'm like, if I'm gonna be eating cheese, or if I want cheese, let's just try and make it dairy-free. So for tacos especially, I'm always trying to not have as much, but I am gonna add sour cream to this because I just can't help it, guys. I can't help it. My main thing with this is that I have been counting my macros for a while now, so I've really gotten into the habit of like what is what and what I can eat and what I can't eat and all that kind of stuff. So I don't specifically like hardcore measure everything, especially for condiments. So for the meat and for the beans and for the tortillas, I do measure and I put those nutrients into my app. But for the salsa, the sour cream, and the cheese, I don't really count those, just because if I was having regular cheese, I probably would, because regular cheese is way more fat in it. But the dairy-free one isn't as much. And I'm just like, you know what? I don't want to feel too restricted, and that's like my main thing. I feel like a lot of people think that counting your macros is just so hard and it's so restrictive, and it can be, but also like being able to make it work for you is really, really helpful. And so that's what I've learned to do. So this is it. It literally looks just like ground beef. Like, I love that. Also, what I like to do is once I make the ground beef, so I will definitely not eat all of this. This is way more, but I just want to make the rest. Once I make it, I will save the excess that I don't, and then in the morning I actually make breakfast tacos sometimes, which I can show you guys in another what I eat in a day. But I'll save the meat, and then I will put them in with my egg whites, a little bit more of like the mozzarella cheese, and then I make a little breakfast taco, breakfast burrito in the morning, and it's super good because I definitely won't eat all of this. So I like to just save that. So these will be heated up nice and warm. Set them on the plate, and then we're gonna just do this with 2 other tortillas. Okay, so now we've got our heated up tortillas, and we have got our meat over here and our beans, and then we have the stuff that I'm going to layer on top of it. So I like to start with the sour cream. The nutrition value in this is not that great. We've got 5 grams of fat, we've got 1 carb and 1 protein. Not terrible, but that is for 2 tablespoons. So I really don't use a lot of this, just because if you were to use, if I don't measure this and I'm using an excessive amount, then yeah, it's kind of going over my fats for the day. So I'm gonna just do a little bit of this. Here we are with our sour cream. We're gonna do a little dot there, dot. So now we've got the sour cream, and then I like to go in with the salsa. This is the best. I don't really like hot salsa, but you know, you do you. So I just take a little spoonful and I put a little bit on each taco. The best part, the meat and the beans. I always layer everything on backwards because I hate when it falls off the top, like the sour cream and the cheese and stuff. So that's why I put it all on the bottom. I hate when it's like coming out the side because it was on the top, so I always add it on the bottom. I don't want to do too much. I just try and guesstimate the serving size, which is like just 2 tablespoons on this cheese. So we're just gonna do a little guesstimate. Doesn't look as pretty as I thought it was, but it tastes so good. These are our plant-based tacos. Well, plant-based meat. I don't know if the other stuff is plant-based, you know. But these are the tacos I made. This is plant-based meat. We've got some sour cream, core tortillas, salsa,
cheese, all that kind of stuff, and they're super yummy and super easy and quick. So yeah.
Wow, hi, how are ya? Oh my gosh, my face. I just went and got my face extracted, my pimples, my acne extracted out of my face, and I also got a chemical peel. So just ignore the fact that I look like this now, but now it's time for dinner. So I'm starving. This is a meal that I freaking crave. I've mentioned it in a vlog, but it is so good. So if you guys don't follow any recipe from me, follow this one. This is the one to follow. So right now I've got my chicken right here, and they are currently frozen, but I'm gonna thaw one of them out. So I'm gonna have one chicken breast, and again, like always, I am going to scan the barcode on the back. But this one says that 4 ounces, which is 112 grams, has 25 grams of protein in it. I need a little bit more than that to end off my day. I normally always lack eating protein throughout the day, so I do need a little bit more than that. But we're gonna make that. And then this is the teriyaki sauce. I am gonna show you guys. Actually, I'll show you guys all the other ingredients, 2 other ingredients, when the chicken is thawed. All right, so I have cut up all the chicken, and I seasoned it really lightly because I am going to be adding this teriyaki sauce. I got this, I believe, at Trader Joe's, but they also sell this at Whole Foods. I love this teriyaki sauce, and I got it because, like I said earlier, I've been cutting down on a lot of soy, so I got it because their stuff is soy free. So I really, really like this. It tastes so good. And then to top it all off, we have got the best coconut rice ever. I love this stuff. It is so good. Get it at Whole Foods. Amazing, gluten-free. It is, oh my gosh, it's so good. So what we're gonna do is put this chicken into the pan. I just put a little bit of this Trader Joe's onion salt chicken. It's just for a little bit of flavor, but the teriyaki sauce is really what's gonna do it. So we're gonna throw this into the pan. Okay, so once the chicken is basically fully cooked, oh gosh, the next thing that I do while it's finishing up cooking is I take the coconut rice, and this is just microwavable. You have to break up the rice in the bag before you throw it in the microwave, and tear only halfway, and then pop it in the microwave for 1 minute and 30 seconds. Teriyaki sauce, and I'm just gonna pour. You honestly don't need much of this, about that much, and then quickly mix it around because it will, you know, cook pretty fast. Mix it around so it coats all of the chicken, and the heat is gonna make it, oh, my camera's fogging up. The heat is gonna make it all stick to the chicken. All right, so this is 4.3 ounces, but I want more chicken than that, and I need more chicken than that because I need a little bit more protein. So I'm probably going to eat 6 ounces tonight. So I'm just gonna keep scooping. This freaking spatula is so hard to pick the chicken up in. All right, so this is my dinner for the night. This is so yummy, and it's super simple. It really is so quick and easy to cook. And it tastes so good. So this is what I'm having for dinner. I hope the showing you guys like the macros and stuff kind of helped. I know this video had a lot of explanations and a lot of things in it that maybe some of you guys didn't care about. You guys were just here for the what I eat in a day, but I just wanted to share you guys what I do, because normally in vlogs or anything like that recently, when I show you guys what I'm making or what I'm eating or whatever, I always exclude the macro portion, and I'm always like weighing it or calculating it or adding it up or whatever. So that is what I'm doing, and I just wanted to be able to share that with you guys. The chicken is really good, and the teriyaki is really good, but it's the coconut rice that is fire. It is so yummy. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching this video. It means so much to me. Thank you guys for following along my journey with me, and if this helped, let me know. If any of you guys count your macros, have any tips for anyone, tips for me, Comment them down below. Kind, constructive criticism, please, and thank you. Yeah, and if you guys want to stick around, don't forget to subscribe, and you guys can also follow me on Instagram and Twitter because I am super active on both of my other social media, so that would really mean a lot. Oh, last thing, I forgot to share with you guys a dessert that I have on days where I have a little bit of carbs at the end of the night and I just want to like treat myself to a little snack, and it is these banana babies, and they are chocolate covered bananas, and they are so freaking bomb, and they're a great way to just like at night treat yourself if you had a long day. Anyways, guys, thank you guys so much again. I cannot thank you guys enough for watching this video, and I will see you guys next time.